Transmigrated into a crybaby mermaid princess, the system wants me to bully the gloomy villain who hasn't yet transformed into a dragon. I swim up to the villain, trembling as I slap his face with my tail. Bastard, the system instructs me, be bold and give it to him good. Later, the villain transformed into a dragon and became the ruler of the four seas. He pressed down on my fish tail with his lower dragon claws. His voice hoarse, not enough, I want more. The true dragon had perished many years ago. Now, the four seas are ruled by the mermaid clan, but not long ago, General Lucas, who had submitted to the mermaids, unexpectedly grew dragon scales. Lucas was immediately thrown into the water dungeon by my father. I transmigrated into the stunningly beautiful villainous mermaid princess. The system sent me to the water dungeon to pull out the dragon scale from his chest. I was slowly swimming toward the water dungeon. The system urged me in my mind. Hurry up, even the jellyfish next to you is paddling faster than you. Why are you crying just from a couple of words? Damn, Pearls, your sadness is quite granular. Quick, use your skirt to scoop them up. Once you complete the mission and revive back to the real world, you can even open a jewelry store. Holding a full skirt of pearls, huffing and puffing, I finally made my way to the water dungeon. Lucas was tied up in the center of the water dungeon. The fabric on his body was tattered, with traces of blood seeping through. Seeing me approach, he opened his eyes. A fierce, cold glint flashed in his gaze. I was so frightened that my hand loosened, and pearls scattered all over the floor. The system is angry again. I don't even want to say it, but if someone didn't know better, they'd think you were giving him a dowry. Forget it. Hurry up and follow the plot. Pull out the dragon's scale from his chest. Can you do it? I sniffled, held back my tears, clenched my fist, and said, "Can." The system sighed. Go quickly, now, remember to say a few harsh words. I tightly clutched my sleeve and walked up to the male lead. Trembling, I read out the lines the system had written for me. You bastard, how dare you, have dragon scales, Lulu. The system was fuming. It's Lucas, Lulu. The system says it once, and I repeat it once. Lucas, Lulu. After repeating it more than 10 times, the system gave up. Let's go with Lulu, it's quite humiliating. Lucas looked at me with a fierce and wary expression. What trick is the princess playing again? If you want to kill or torture me, just do it directly. I bit my lip to hold back my tears and cautiously reached out to touch his chest. I want to take your heart scale. Is that okay? As my hand made contact, Lucas trembled, his expression instantly turning cold again as he gritted his teeth and said, "To see the princess, you'll have to see if you have the ability." The wounds on his body were too horrifying. They looked incredibly painful. I didn't dare to look closely. Closing my eyes, I reached out and felt around his chest. Found it. My palm touched a bulge. It must be the heart scale. I'm a bit excited, finally about to complete the task. I gave a hard tug. Lucas let out a muffled groan. I was so startled that I opened my eyes. A few strands of Lucas's hair fell over his forehead. His face flushed, and his body gradually grew warm. My eyes reddened, and he seemed to be in pain. I hurt him. I was going to pluck his scales. How much it must have hurt him. My tears kept falling uncontrollably. While crying, I gently rubbed him, hoping he would feel a little better. A pained expression gradually appeared on Lucas's cold face. He gritted his teeth tightly, his gaze fixed on me as if he wanted to tear me apart. Did I hurt him again? Is he going to die? I was so guilty that tears streamed down my face. Wah, I'm a bad person. The system lost its patience. You're an idiot. How many times do I have to say it? The mermaid princess is the villain. Why do you think they call her the villain? The system noticed that the tone was a bit harsh and softened its voice. Don't cry, be bold. Go ahead and tear into him. This guy is the male lead. Even if we take him down, nothing will happen to us. I blinked my eyes, wiped away my tears, and bit my lip. You're right, system. If I don't complete the mission this time, not only will I be in big trouble, but you'll suffer along with me too. I steeled myself, leaned close to Lucas's ear, and shakily issued my challenge. Lulu, I'm going to use more force this time. The protective scale on his chest grew harder under my fingertips, but no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't pull it off. I tried pulling with the pad of my finger, or scraping with my nail, but nothing worked. Lucas's breathing grew increasingly rapid, but bound by the spirit-binding rope, He couldn't resist, his body tensed up completely, and the temperature of his chest grew hotter and hotter. It seemed he had reached his limit. Lucas suddenly let out a piercing roar. His overwhelming dragon aura was so intimidating that I stepped back in fright, my fish tail involuntarily emerging. The system finally praised me. Well done, that kid is screaming so miserably. He must be in excruciating pain. Let me check the panel. Wow, the male lead's anger level is skyrocketing. Ouch. Why is the excitement level also shooting up? The system was silent for a moment, then suddenly realized, it must be that anger has ignited his fighting spirit. Men, they're all like this. The more setbacks, the stronger they become. I nodded and asked quietly, then should I rub him a little more? Suddenly, I remembered the main task and felt a bit confused, but I haven't pulled out the heart scale yet. The system said that in the original plot. The mermaid princess Lydia used all kinds of tortures but still couldn't pry off Lucas's heart scale. However, she caused significant harm to Lucas and pushed his hatred to its peak. It was never going to come off in the first place, but it feels like something's missing. Let me check the panel again. Ah, found it. This scene needs to have blood splatter to be considered complete. The system gave me a tip. Go over and slap him until he spits blood. No, use your fish tail to slap him. A fish tail slap hurts like hell. I haven't been here long and still haven't gotten used to having a tail. Hearing that I have to slap someone, my tail trembles in fear. I don't want to hurt Lucas again. It's not his fault that dragon scales grew on him, but I also don't dare to make the system angry. Like a seahorse, I clumsily swam over to Lucas, struggling to lift my broad tail fin. I swung it toward his handsome profile. The blue tail fin cut through the water, barely grazing his temple as it landed on Lucas's face. Lucas's eyes gleamed, and his face was full of surprise as he saw my action. The system was practically itching to poke my forehead and scold me. Are you wiping his sweat, little sister? Why not use a feather fan to cool him off? Are you afraid he might catch a cold? Can you be a bit more reliable? Just tell me, can you give a straight answer or not? I nodded with tears in my eyes, biting my lip. I swam to a spot farther away from Lucas. The system asked me impatiently, what are you doing? I caught a handful of pearls and whispered, I want to take a running start. No, a swimming start, so I can build up more momentum. Not a bad idea. Go ahead. I aimed at the target, swung my tail with all my might, and swam toward Lucas's location. Just as I was about to reach him, the system let out a sharp, piercing alarm in my mind. Stop, stop. I just found out that in the mermaid world, wagging your tail at the opposite sex is a damn mating signal. The system had just finished speaking. My tail had already touched Lucas's lower abdomen. The force was too strong, and blood splattered all over Lucas. From the side of the face down to the lower abdomen, it was a vivid red, all blood, my blood. My tail fin slapped against the spirit-binding rope, cutting it in two. The system froze for a second, then screamed, oh my, what's going on here? Why are you being so reckless, you big carp? Once the binding spirit rope snapped, Lucas was free. He looked at me, his pupils dilated, his face full of disbelief. Then, his usually cold and indifferent expression showed a rare hint of panic. He reached out and pulled me into his embrace. The dragon's roar did not cease. Red blood continuously flowed from my tail fin, wrapping around Lucas and me like countless crimson threads. I was losing too much blood, gasping in pain, my belly nearly turning upward. Lucas trembled slightly, holding my tail and channeling spiritual energy. In a daze, I asked the system, splattered, blood, is the mission complete? The system roared at me in anger, little fool, if there's going to be bloodshed, it shouldn't be your own. As he spoke, he let out a startled cry, holy shit. The male lead's panic level has shot through the roof. The panel displayed the task completion status, panic level, achieved, rage level, achieved, splash blood level, achieved, panel detection, task overachieved, distribute rewards, host resurrection points plus 30, system resurrection points plus 30. The system was excited for a long time. I got a perfect score on the first storyline. This is the first time I've ever scored a perfect big carp, just 3 more storylines to go, and once we hit 100 points, we can happily revive. The system is happy, and I'm happy too. In Lucas's arms, I tugged at my pale lips. Okay. Suddenly, a violent shaking occurred, a giant fish swam over, its tail smashing through the water prison. This was the female lead from the original book, Mia, and she had come to break me out. Upon seeing Lucas, Mia transformed into her human form, with a high ponytail and a black, form-fitting outfit. Her style was neutral and strikingly cool. Dragon Lord. Your subordinate has arrived late. Mia shot me a fierce glare. This witch has harmed the Dragon Lord to such an extent. Now that we've captured her, the Dragon Lord must not show any mercy. She conjured a silver-white longsword in her hand, making a move as if to stab me to death. Instinctively, I wanted to flee, but my mermaid tail was injured, so I moved very slowly. It was as if I had encountered a ghost wall. No matter how I swam, I remained in the same spot. The system couldn't help but remind, stop squirming, the male lead already has you by the back of your neck. Lucas grabbed me by the neck and lifted me, pulling me back into his arms with one hand. With his other hand, he flicked his sleeve to block Mia's longsword. First, take Lydia back to Dragon Valley. Mia thought I was to be used as a hostage in negotiations with the Merman King, as a means to restrain him. Nodding, she said, as you command. While on the journey, Lucas revealed his black dragon form, placed me on his back, and protected me with his dorsal fin. His body was already covered in many dragon scales, but his horns had not yet grown. He needed to go to the Dragon Valley to absorb spiritual energy and break through to become a dragon. The system's tone was full of confusion. In the original plot, the male lead tied you to his dragon tail and dragged you back. How come you're riding on his back now? I just bought you the sensory blocking potion. And now the plot's changed. Damn, the points I spent are wasted. Hearing the system say that, I also felt sorry for his expenses. I gently tugged on Lucas's dorsal fin. Lucas turned his head. What's wrong? I timidly said. Could you, drag me? Lucas instantly turned his head back, his dragon body faintly blushing, and his words became stuttered. Princess, I am aware of your feelings. His voice grew softer. But some things are not to be rushed. I couldn't understand the meaning behind Lucas's words, so I turned to the system for help, but the system didn't listen at all. This black dragon's true form looks pretty fierce, but why did it turn pink after swimming such a short distance? So girly. What? Did the seawater burn its claws? Lucas did seem to be burned by something, swimming extremely fast. I was afraid of falling, so I gripped Lucas's dorsal fin tighter and held it close against my chest. The next moment, Lucas crashed straight into the coral reef. The system let out a sinister cackle. The seawater must have boiled your brain. After mocking Lucas, the system suddenly stopped. You look a lot like someone I know, don't you? My smile froze, and my heart skipped a beat. Both the system and I were people on the verge of death in real life. Only then would I be transported here to complete tasks and earn a chance at resurrection. My real name is Karina. I was a child star and used to be very famous. It's just that after that incident happened, if the system recognizes me, it will definitely find me disgusting and hate me even more. I was so scared that my whole body stiffened, and my palms were sweating profusely. The system finally remembered the name. It's so damn similar. Anyone who sees you would be stunned. I wiped the sweat off with Lucas's dragon fin and breathed a sigh of relief. The system paused, its tone serious. Does your tail still hurt? We're the villains here. We mess with others, not hurt ourselves. Don't be so reckless next time. All right. Some thoughts flashed through my mind, and I shook my head with reddened eyes. But my dad said, as long as the result is achieved, the process doesn't matter. The system disagreed. Your dad is an idiot. The system's voice softened, sounding a bit awkward. You're the one I've chosen, and I won't allow you to get hurt. I couldn't help but feel happy. My eyes instantly sparkling. Bro, out of so many hosts, why did you choose me? The system didn't hesitate at all. You're the cheapest, requiring the lowest matching points. Bro always talks trash, and his points are almost all deducted from host complaints. The system added, anyway, let's follow the plot properly and revive as soon as possible. After we go home, bro will treat you to sweet and sour pork. After a while, I nodded. Okay. The system said that the location of Dragon Valley is very nourishing for fish. I stayed in Dragon Valley for a few days, and my injuries completely healed. In the original plot, the mermaid princess was held captive in Dragon Valley as a hostage, but carrying the villain's KPI, I still seize every opportunity to cause trouble. The second plot point I need to follow is sow discord between the male and female leads to advance their romantic storyline. It's divided into 3 steps in total. The first step is to humiliate the female lead. Step 2, tell her that the male lead likes you, just to annoy her. Step 3, wait for the female lead to storm off in anger, then push her into the marsh. What happens next is he. The system laughed particularly creepily. I asked with concern, what's going to happen next? Will Mia get hurt? The system didn't tell me and even snapped at me. Little one, don't ask too much about things in the underworld. You hear? Don't worry about the rest. Just get these 3 steps done right. I held back the tears in my eyes and sniffled. All right, I'll listen to you, bro. Before I could go find Mia, Mia came to me first. Mia is a giant fish, and because of her enormous size, she has to keep eating to replenish her energy. Mia, while pulling out crispy shrimp and putting them in her mouth, questioned me, what despicable methods did you use? Munch, to bewitch the Dragon Lord's mind, munch, and actually get to live at the Dragon Valley's spiritual eye. Mia called me a demoness with every word, getting more and more absorbed in her scolding. You're really a dung beetle wearing a mask, chewing and chewing, shameless and disgusting, sleeping in the latrine, chewing and chewing, ugh, not far from shit. I silently marveled at how extensive Mia's vocabulary for insults was, even more so than my previous haters. Mia, tired from all the scolding, saw that I still hadn't reacted and put her hands on her hips, frowning. Aren't you going to say something? I blinked my eyes. The system was furious. What are you ing for? Hurry up and curse them back. Whatever they said to you, say it right back to them. I took a deep breath and whispered softly, rebound. The system grew even angrier, pulling out the script from the panel and telling me to read it aloud. You giant fish types are all big and burly, utterly hideous. How could you ever compare to our mermaid clan, with our graceful and varied forms? It's only natural that Lucas wouldn't be interested in you. I haven't spoken up. System, what? Can't read? Hold on, bro, I'll mark the opinion for you. I shook my head, but body shaming is wrong. Why should the ink whale and the mermaid look the same? The system was baffled. That's a pretty insightful thing to say. All right, then I'll spend some points to skip this part. The main event is the next 2 steps, I said happily. Bro, you're so great. I will definitely complete the mission. The system's tone suddenly turned cold, but the tail end of each word rose slightly. Don't flatter me, bro. I don't fall for that. Complete the task properly. The system calmly advanced the task. Step 2. Tell Mia you like your brother. Ahem. Like the male lead, I glanced at the time. Lucas was about to finish today's training and would come looking for Mia. I must make Mia leave before he arrives. I stepped forward, chin held high, appearing arrogant on the surface, but secretly picking at my hands. Whenever I lie, I unconsciously pick at my hands. I like Lucas. Lucas likes me too. A sudden loud noise came from outside, as if something had collapsed. Mia remained unaffected, a look of disdain appearing in her eyes. Such nonsense. Your father, that scoundrel, caused the death of the entire dragon clan. How could Lucas like the daughter of his enemy? I almost instinctively refuted it. My father is my father. I am me. We are not the same. Tears welled up in the corners of my eyes. On the verge of falling, it looked as if I was head over heels in love with Lucas. The system encouraged me. Good job. Keep up this pace. Continue. After stating the conclusion, quickly provide the evidence, Mia said with a cold expression. On what grounds do you say Lucas likes you? I thought about it. He doesn't like my father, and my father doesn't like me. 2 negatives make a positive, so he likes me. I felt a bit proud and wanted to ask the system for praise. The system sighed. Forget it, just read from the panel. The system pulled up the lines on the panel. If Lucas didn't like me, why would he bring me back to Dragon Valley? Did he let you touch the dragon scales on his chest? I've touched them. I've touched every part of Lucas, and you, has Lucas ever once taken the initiative to get close to you? I read it aloud as written. Mia indeed got upset and ran away. I stood there in a daze, waited for a moment, and asked, why didn't Lucas come to find Mia? The system says, when you said you liked Lucas, he arrived just in time to hear that, and he was so disgusted he covered his face and ran off. slamming into the coral outside in a fit of rage. I nodded. So the crashing sound just now was the coral. I remembered that the last time Lucas gave me a ride, he also crashed into the coral. Lucas seems to really enjoy bumping into corals, the system stated with certainty, because corals look like dragon horns. He can't grow dragon horns himself, so he won't let others have them either. How petty, not generous at all. The system glanced at the panel. He's having a blast bumping into them. His excitement level has shot up again. The system earnestly taught me, such a man is definitely not worth having. He's bound to hit his wife in the future. I imitated his way of speaking. Can't have it. The system breathed a sigh of relief, seemingly quite satisfied with me. Continue to push the progress. Mia has already run to the edge of the W pond. Hurry over and push her. After getting used to my tail, I swam really fast. I caught up with W pond in no time. I thought W pond was a sunken marsh at the bottom of the sea. But it turns out it's actually quite close to the surface, like a giant lantern, rising near the sea surface. Inside the thin barrier, the water shimmered with a faint white hue. It appears to have a lower density than seawater. Not sure what kind of liquid it is. Mia was so angry that she swam toward the sea surface to get some fresh air. Passing by the W pond, I followed behind Mia. The system is on edge. Relax. Bro just spent points to get you a booster. As soon as you touch Mia, she'll be bounced into the marsh. The more I look at that white liquid, the more terrified I feel. Will Mia get hurt after falling into the marsh? Is it necessary to fall into the mire to complete the task? The system urged me. Stop dawdling. Hurry up. I gritted my teeth and pushed forward with a trembling hand. Missed the push. Bang. I fell into the mire myself. Hearing the noise, Mia turned around and was dumbfounded to see me fall in. She even stopped chewing the shrimp in her mouth. Can't even handle such a simple plot. Did your brain get slammed by a door? I nodded with tears in my eyes. Sinking deeper, I explained. When I was 6, it got slammed once. Gurgle gurgle. When I was a child, I was fair-skinned and cute, and I was chosen to be a child star, apart from filming. My father wouldn't allow me to go out. Once, I tried to sneak out, but my father closed the door too quickly and it caught my head. I had to stay in the hospital for several days. Waking up, Dad was extremely happy, saying it was fortunate that his face wasn't injured and he could still take on advertisements. Just before passing out, I seemed to hear the sound of a slap. Mia sighed by the edge of the rice wine pond. I really deserve to die. In my mind, the system was intermittently screaming. After falling in, the signal was cut off. Damn it, can a mermaid drown? After drinking a bellyful, I realized that the liquid in the marsh was wine. Seeing me sink deeper, Mia wanted to jump in to rescue me, but this brew is to the giant fish what realgar wine is to a snake. She instinctively could not move forward. The wine I drank turned entirely into warmth within me, flushing my cheeks crimson. I couldn't help but reveal my mermaid tail. I slightly parted my lips. Nearly suffocated by the overwhelming intoxication, all my senses dulled, as if veiled by a layer of white mist. Just before I completely lost my breath, something fragrant and soft pressed against my lips, cool and moist, transferring a surge of spiritual energy to me. My waist was gripped by a pair of large hands, while the black dragon's lower claw pressed down on my trembling fish tail. Lucas. He cast a spell to create a bubble barrier that kept the alcohol out. Inside the bubble, he held me close. Later, I found out that what the system had previously referred to as matters of the way was actually about the path of joyful union. After transferring spiritual energy for a long time, Lucas finally let go of me. His dark eyes were filled with desire, his voice low and hoarse. Little drunkard, do you still recognize who I am? At the same time, the system's voice echoed intermittently in my mind. Drunkard, wake up quickly, my eyes are bloodshot. I don't know if it's from the alcohol I drank or because Lucas was too rough just now. I stared at him in a daze. Lucas now has a human upper body and a dragon tail for his lower half, exuding a wild, handsome charm. Dragon horns finally sprouted on his forehead. They've grown, but not fully, like the antlers of a young deer, short, small, and blunt. I curiously reached out to touch them. Lucas dodged me and turned his face away. Don't touch it, it's ugly. Lucas still doesn't know if he can truly transform into a dragon. His father is a dragon, and his mother is a snake. He practices diligently every day, yet he has only grown these strange, mismatched little horns. Drunk, I felt much bolder and stubbornly insisted on touching his horn. Not ugly, very cute. I remembered earlier when he asked if I recognized him. I leaned close to his ear and whispered softly, "Just like you, Lulu." Before the words had even finished, Lucas's kiss came down, a cool, moist tongue gently nibbled my earlobe, then slid down the side of my face, kissing all the way until our lips and tongues intertwined. I was kissed until my eyelashes were damp, and the moment the glistening tears left my lashes, they turned into lustrous white pearls. Lucas caught my tears and offered them for me to taste. The lustrous white pearls appeared and disappeared between his crimson lips and tongue. I almost swallowed the beads several times, but Lucas used his tongue to fish it out. He was too fierce, so I pressed my hand against his chest, and I touched that heart scale again. After transforming into a half-dragon, his upper body was no longer covered by fabric. Tears welled up in my eyes, blurring my vision with a shimmering haze, making it hard to see clearly, but I vaguely caught a glimpse of two, and they were red. I shook my head, thinking I must be too drunk and seeing double. When I woke up again, I was in the clam bed of Dragon Valley. Lucas had already gone to train. The system immediately gave me the good news: you scored full marks in the second storyline and earned another 30 points, just 2 more tasks, as long as they're not done too poorly, scoring above 40 points, and we can go home. I smiled with relief. Is it true that if someone jumps into the fermented pond, they can get a perfect score? No, after you fell in yesterday, the male lead's affection points shot up. The panel showed the goal was achieved, advancing the romance plot. So we got extra points. I nodded, somewhat understanding but not entirely. The system explained to me, yesterday, I fell into the marsh and lost connection with the system. Not long after, Lucas came looking for Mia and jumped in as well. The system deduced, I reckon the dragon must have poor eyesight. Mia was right there by the edge of the lake, but he just didn't see her and insisted on jumping into the lake. Later, I figured it out. Maybe he wasn't going down to find Mia. He was going to find you. The system paused deliberately, afraid that you, the hostage, would run away. I figured he'd torture you if he caught you, so I immediately used that sensory-blocking drug. So, are you still in pain now? I moved my arm and showed a bright smile. Really, it doesn't hurt at all. Yesterday, I fell in and swallowed a lot of alcohol, and then I don't remember anything after that. I was scared afterward. Thanks to System Bro's sensory-blocking medicine, otherwise I would have been bullied to death by Lucas. After achieving 2 perfect scores, the system's mood was at an all-time high, convinced that the two of us would definitely make it home successfully, started dreaming about a bright future. After we go back, whatever you want, just tell me, bro, I've got a little money, I said timidly. I want, if you want it, I'll give it to you, just speak up, bro, I said it all in one breath. Can't afford it. The system's voice carried a hint of laughter. How about, when we get back, we play some landlords together? I had just woken up when Mia hurriedly came to find me. I thought she was going to scold me again. Unexpectedly, she took my hand. My dear, how long have you been a host here? I don't know how to react, so I asked the system for help. The system grinds its teeth, calling you dear right away and holding your hand so casually. You're definitely no match for her. Don't expose yourself as the host. When I lie, I fidget with my hands, my thumb unconsciously rubbing the pad of my ring finger. I'm not. Mia sympathetically patted my head. Sweetie, I've seen too many people who know how to lie. Even if I lent you all their cunning, you'd still be in the negative. Yesterday, you were afraid I'd get hurt, so you deliberately let go and fell on purpose, right? Mia told me that she crossed over last month. In real life, her real name is Monica. I know her. She's a top-tier agent in the entertainment industry. I met her backstage at an event before I fell out of the spotlight. Monica is very famous in the entertainment industry. First, no matter who she manages, she can turn them into top-tier celebrities. Second, every top-tier celebrity she has managed, regardless of gender or age, has had their reputation ruined in one way or another. Love affairs, cheating, pyramid schemes, drug use, drunk driving while streaking. It's practically a collection of celebrity scandals. Finally, last month, a male actor who had just starred in a hit drama and was on the verge of becoming a top star, was exposed for soliciting prostitution. Monica, a woman as fierce as a female eagle, suddenly suffered a heart attack and collapsed. Then I ended up here. I need to complete the mission, win over the male lead and help him become the ruler of the 4 seas, to return to the real world. After hearing this, even the system felt sympathy. Tragic, so tragic. The system also recalled the sorrows of that year. It's already been 3 years since I came here. 3 years ago, a bunch of us were racing on the mountaintop, and some shameless jerk cut me off. I was so pissed, I drifted over and cut him off too. But that idiot ended up stepping on the gas instead of the brakes, caused both of us to end up in the hospital, passed out for 3 years. Damn it. Listening to the system's description, a white flash went through my mind. I think I've seen him in real life. The system is called Frank. He is the young master from the Northeast. 4 years ago, he came to the horse farm where our crew was filming to ride horses. Rumors say he only enjoys horseback riding and racing cars, and has no interest in women. The producer, refusing to believe it, took a few underage girls from our crew to flatter him. I huddled in the crowd with reddened eyes, entered the private room, and awaited an unknown fate. Frank pushed the door open, dressed in riding attire, broad-shouldered and long-legged. Upon seeing us in the private room, he froze for a moment. Then he asked the server to replace all the alcohol on the table with juice. He beckoned and called the producer out the door. The producer followed him out, bowing and scraping. In the blink of an eye, he was knocked to the ground. You think you're not human, so I'm not human either. Every pause Frank made felt like a heavy kick. The producer was hospitalized for half a year. My tears fell as I said to Frank in my mind, "Bro, it's so good to have met you." "Oh, why so sentimental? Don't cry." "Alright, after going back, I still have to treat that bastard to some sweet and sour pork, or else I wouldn't have met you." "We've met long ago, bro." I was talking to Frank in my mind. In Monica's eyes, it seemed as though I was seriously listening to her vent. She had finally found someone in this world to complain to, and she couldn't hold back her words. "I'm so done. In the real world, everyone around me is obsessed with romance, practically wanting to date 4 or 5 people a day. But now that I've transmigrated into a book, I need someone with a romantic mindset, and Lucas is as straight as they come. No matter how I try to flirt with him, he doesn't even glance my way." Such self-control. I really want to sign him. I listened to Monica in a daze, nodding from time to time. Monica looked at me with eyes full of affection. "If all the artists I managed were as obedient as you, baby, although a bit silly, at least you don't have the brains to do anything bad. That way, I wouldn't be so angry I'd have a heart attack." Monica leaned in to examine my features. Her face is top-notch. Her looks are beyond reproach. She suddenly froze. "Are you, Karina? How could something like that happen to you?" My face turned pale in an instant, and I wanted to turn my head away. Monica gently touched my chin with concern. "Forget it. You must have been set up. Wait until I get back. I'll help clear your name." Tears welled up in my eyes as I held her tightly. "Thank you, sis." Frank was completely confused. "What's going on? Did someone bully you? By the way, how did you get here?" Seeing me in tears, Frank cautiously guessed the cause of my death. "Did you cry yourself to dehydration?" With red eyes, I refused to speak. Frank sighed, lowering his voice. "If you don't want to talk, it's fine. I'm not a nosy person. The next task is to shatter Lucas's resolve during his critical period of transforming into a dragon." Lucas was born from the union of a snake and a dragon, making him a half-dragon. The process of him transforming into a true dragon was long and arduous. In the original book, 2 main things supported him. One was his hatred for the Merman King, and the other was his bond with Mia. It made him want to grow stronger as quickly as possible, to avenge the blood feud and protect his loved ones. As long as he successfully grows his dragon horns, the 4 seas will all bow at his feet. Frank pulled up the panel. "The plot I need to follow this time is knock Mia out and transform into her appearance. During Lucas's critical period of transforming into a dragon, deliver a heart-wrenching line to him. I stayed by your side only because you could become a dragon, but after all these days, you're still a filthy half-snake, a failure. By doing this, increase his heartbreak value and delay his transformation into a dragon. Seize the opportunity to escape and return to inform the Mermaid King of the Dragon Valley's location." Frank encouraged me in his mind. The first 2 times we cooperated so perfectly and in sync, this time will definitely be no problem either. I tiptoed to the tank where Mia was frying shrimp, holding the powder. I gently sprinkled a little. Frank kept repeating in my mind, it's okay, don't be angry, don't be angry. I looked up in confusion and asked, bro, I'm not angry. Frank gritted his teeth, I'm trying to convince myself. In the end, he still couldn't hold back. Are you sprinkling scallions? That little amount, she's a giant fish, bigger than a whale, how could such a small dose knock her out? I nodded and, under Frank's guidance, added a lot more. After dosing, I hid to the side, waiting for Mia to come in and eat these shrimp. A moment later, Mia arrived. She lifted the lid and yelled, come out here, I'm not blind, the powder is all over my shrimp. How am I supposed to eat it? Oh no. I was so focused on increasing the dose that I didn't pay attention to the palatability. I hesitantly stepped out from behind the coral. Then, what should we do? Mia placed a white pill in my palm and took a shrimp out of her pocket, holding the pill. I asked, what is this? Mia said, I forced my system to buy sleeping pills for my giant fish. She raised her chin, here, stuff this pill into the shrimp meat. I obediently did as told. Mia, hand it to me again. Okay. Seeing how obedient I was, Mia asked, aren't you afraid I'm too domineering? I shook my head, you're not wrong, sister is doing all the right things, listening to you can save me from taking many detours. Mia switched from a mature, authoritative tone to a cutesy, high-pitched voice, good baby, you understand your sister. Mia handed me another piece of paper with various insults written on it. Go on, if you don't know how to curse, just read from this, the system said sourly. Are you some kind of host without a system? Only she knows how to stir things up. I can write these for you too. After giving these instructions, Mia sat on the edge of the bed and calmly swallowed the shrimp. Then she peacefully pulled the seaweed blanket up to her chest and sighed contentedly. Finally, I can get a good night's sleep. I transformed into Mia's appearance, carefully imitating her usual expression, and walked to the place where Lucas was training. Seeing me arrive, Lucas opened a small gap in the barrier to let me in. He stood up, pulled me into his arms, and rubbed his chin against the crook of my neck, his voice full of longing. Lydia, I trembled in fear. How did he recognize me at a single glance? My eyes welled up with tears as I struggled to salvage the situation. I'm not, you, don't call me that, all right. Lucas nodded, going along with my words, and whispered softly in my ear, Princess. I raised my voice, trying to mask my lack of confidence with volume. I already said I'm not. Lucas curved his lips and leaned down, taking my hand that was hidden at my side. When the princess lies, her thumb unconsciously rubs the pad of her ring finger. Lucas tightened his palm, enveloping my hand in his larger one. Little liar. I heard you say you like me. I also have feelings for you. My heart pounded wildly, and forgetting everything else, I looked up at him and asked, but I cry all the time. Don't you find me annoying? The princess must have been wronged. Lucas took out a small figure from his sleeve, made of pearls strung together, and it looked surprisingly like me. Every tear I shed, he carefully collected and hid away. The princess is made of tears. He handed the pearl figurine to me. From now on, I will do everything in my power to ensure the princess never suffers the slightest grievance or sheds a single tear. After I entered, Lucas sealed the barrier again. Frank couldn't hear our conversation and could only see Lucas taking out the pearl. He indignantly voiced his grievances on my behalf. I stole your pearl and flaunted it right in front of you. He's the only one who knows how to act like a jerk and make others look bad. In the end, I didn't accept Lucas's gift and ran away in a panic. As soon as I stepped out of the barrier, Frank's sharp, piercing scream echoed in my mind. It's over. The system detected that the male lead's affection has gone off track. The confession target has shifted to the villainous. Immediately implement punishment. Not only did you not get the points for this plot, but the 60 points you earned earlier have also been deducted, leaving you with only 10. So severe. I apologized with reddened eyes. I'm sorry. Are you stupid? He likes you. Why are you saying sorry? Frank sighed. But it's understandable that the guy fell for you. I asked anxiously, bro, did you lose points too? Are we going to be stuck in this world forever? Frank didn't care at all. I was also deducted 50 points, and now I have 28 left. I was extremely frustrated and asked, "Can we still continue doing tasks to earn points?" Not long after the panel's ruling came down, Frank explained to me. The plot has gone off track, the subsequent storyline has completely collapsed, and the tasks can no longer be completed, but the panel has given one chance to fix it. Correcting the main storyline will earn you 50 points. I shook my head with a sorrowful expression. Even if I earn another 50 points, I'll only have 60, and Frank only has 78. Even if we complete it, we still can't go back. Frank tentatively asked, "Do you want to go home?" Frank's voice was unusually strained. "You could actually stay. After Lucas transforms into a dragon, he will become the ruler of the world. He likes you, and you can live a good life here too." I pursed my lips and whispered softly, "But feelings can change." Frank burst into laughter and exclaimed cheerfully, "You're the one I've been looking for, brother. Let's go home first. We can talk about the things you like in real life." I whispered a reminder, "But the points aren't enough." Frank is generous and open-handed. "It's no big deal, bro. I'll give you my points so you can go home. What about you? I'm not a host. I only get one script chance, but I have connections and can match with hosts infinitely to farm points. Just take your time and accumulate them." The correction task given by the panel is, make Lucas no longer like the mermaid princess. This way, the plot can be brought back on track. Only then can Lucas fall in love with Mia again. Frank repeats, "We must shatter his illusions." Frank spent points to purchase poison. This poison is highly toxic, but Lucas is a dragon, so he won't die. However, once he takes this poison, his scales and dragon horns will fall off, and he will have to start the process of transforming into a dragon all over again. The thing Lucas cares about most is becoming a dragon. This way, he will definitely give up on you, and during his most vulnerable moments, Mia will be by his side every day, waiting for him to recover. Over time, he will surely forget about you and fall in love with Mia again. I clenched the poison tightly, my long eyelashes lowering. "Okay, this time, I will definitely complete it." I went to Lucas's training place again. I don't know if it's an illusion, but the surrounding corals seemed even fewer than last time. Seeing me, Lucas immediately transformed into his human form, looking at me with a smile. "Incredibly handsome, princess. Will you give me an answer?" At the thought of what I was about to do, my eyes instantly welled up with tears, and the tip of my nose turned red. My tears fell onto Lucas's hand, and he turned his hand over, gently catching them. Lucas pulled me into his arms and comforted me softly. I was wrong, I shouldn't have been so impatient. His embrace was too warm, and I couldn't hold back my tears any longer, sobbing as I asked, "But my father killed your father. You should hate me, right?" Lucas said seriously, "You are not like your father. I can tell the difference." Frank urged, "Talked well, it's time to take the medicine." I looked at the corner of Lucas's forehead, where the dragon horns had grown much longer. "Is it very hard to become a dragon?" Lucas shook his head with a smile, his eyes reflecting me. "Worth it," Frank urged. "Stop staring at each other. It's time to take the medicine." After Lucas transformed into a dragon, the first thing he did was to start a great war, slaughter my father and reclaim the dragon palace. But none of us mentioned this matter. I took the initiative to wrap my arms around Lucas's waist. "You're amazing, able to endure the pain of transforming into a dragon." Lucas trembled all over, holding me tightly in return, breathing in the scent of my hair, his voice full of affection. I nuzzled my head against his chest, my voice muffled. "When the dragon horns grow out, I'll give you candy," Frank urged. "Stop hugging, it's time to take the medicine." I let go of Lucas, looked up, and said, "Once the dragon horns are fully grown, can I touch them?" Lucas's gaze was deep and profound. "You can touch them however you want." Frank was taken aback, his voice tinged with melancholy. "You've also fallen for Lucas, haven't you?" I told Lucas to focus on his training and walked out. Frank remained silent for a long time. "All right, I'll handle the leave application for you." I didn't answer, taking advantage of Frank's momentary daze. I opened the poison and drank it all in one gulp. The poison was indeed potent, searing through my organs the moment it touched my throat. In an instant, all the scales on my body fell off. I was on the verge of death almost immediately. Everything happened too quickly. I saw the detection results on the panel. The mermaid princess has logged off, main storyline successfully restored. I immediately gave all the distributed points to Frank, before my consciousness faded, I touched Frank's consciousness, as tall and bright as when I first met him. I gently held him. "Let's go home, brother." Frank's tears fell in large drops as he let out a painful roar. He reached out to try to grasp me, but I had already dissolved into foam, melting into the seawater. When the sunlight rises again, everything will return to its place. I am dead, and even if Lucas wants to love me, he cannot. Lucas will not have to endure the pain of transforming into a dragon again. His storyline will continue to unfold, and Sister Monica will also have a chance to wake up. That's great. As the divine consciousness faded, everything from the past flashed before my eyes like a revolving lantern. It was a memory from my real life. My name is Karina. Father is very handsome, and that's why mother married him. Soon after, I was born. But after marriage, he became an alcoholic and abusive. Mother couldn't bear it and filed for divorce. Dad wouldn't let me go. He thought that by keeping me, Mom would definitely come back. But he didn't understand what it meant to be completely heartbroken. Mom never came back again. At 6 years old, while walking home from kindergarten, I was handed a business card by a talent scout who said I could shoot commercials. I went home and gave the business card to my dad. It was the first time he smiled at me, because of my doll-like appearance. My path to stardom was very smooth. From child model to child star, I eventually became the nation's little sister. I always play the role of a well-behaved girl of a certain type, tearful, soft and cute, loves to act spoiled, timid and shy. But later, as I started to develop, I began to look more and more like my dad. The innocence in my eyes and brows faded into charm. The audience feels this is a betrayal. I am no longer the harmless, timid, big-eyed national little sister they once knew. The same expression, when done with a seductive face, no one buys it. My situation is awkward. I can no longer play the little sister role, nor can I play any other. Over the years of filming, my father made me skip classes and usually didn't allow me to go out. I have almost no social skills and am completely disconnected from normal peers my age. My father said I could transition to a glamorous and sexy style. He made me attend a drinking party with the director's team. At the drinking party, I was almost assaulted by the director. I struggled to hit the director with a wine bottle and stumbled away. When I got home, my father saw me with my clothes in disarray. I tearfully told him what had happened at the drinking party. He slapped me across the face, scolding me for ruining the opportunity he had worked so hard to get for me. I cowered in the corner and told him, "I don't want those opportunities. I don't want to shoot explicit videos." The man looked down at me with a look of disgust. "Worthless, just like your mother, caring too much about face, incapable of doing anything significant." I naively thought that at worst, I would just fade into obscurity or get banned. Not long after, an indecent video of me spread online. My father authorized a pornographic website to replace my face in it. He even made some money from it. He said to me with a menacing expression, "Now that your reputation is ruined, what's wrong with accompanying a director?" So many superstars in the West have taken this path. Think long term. Once the video was exposed, my popularity skyrocketed once again. Countless fans who once said they liked me are now using the most vicious language to curse me. My father's gambling scandal has also been exposed. Some say, like father, like daughter, neither is any good. Some say, child stars are all ruined during their rebellious phase. Some people say, what kind of clean girl could she be? Having grown up in the entertainment industry since childhood, love always fades away. Those who once said they liked me the most and those who cursed me are the same group of people. All the malice came at me, no one cared about the truth, and everywhere there were deepfake videos of me in compromising situations. In despair and on the verge of collapse, I slit my wrists at home. After losing too much blood and fainting, I transmigrated into a book. It said that I could be revived after completing the tasks, but someone like me never wanted to live in the first place. The system said it wants to go home, and I don't want to drag it down. I try to complete tasks without harming others. In the end, the reason I chose to end my own life was also somewhat selfish. Rather than wait until they grow to dislike me, it's better to stay in the most beautiful moment. I hope Sister Monica and Big Brother won't find me disgusting when they return to the real world. After the divine consciousness completely vanished, a flash of white light appeared. I opened my eyes in the cramped bathtub. The bathtub was stained bright red with blood. Why am I back again? The blood on my wrist has already clotted. I'm so stupid, I didn't even cut the right spot on my wrist, dizzy. It seemed like I heard the overwhelming sound of sirens. Is wrist cutting illegal? The moment I slipped in the bathtub, I fell into a warm embrace. Lucas lifted me out of the bathtub. I thought I was dreaming. Lulu, bang, the door was broken open from the outside. They don't seem to see Lucas. Countless police officers rushed in. My eyelids grew heavier and heavier. When I woke up again, I was in the hospital. Frank stayed by the bedside, saw me wake up, wiped away tears, and lectured himself. Stop crying, be open and honest. All right. Sister Monica immediately held my hand. I keep my word, I'll definitely ruin that scumbag father of yours, make him socially dead forever. Don't worry, all right. Lucas stood by the bed, leaning his head toward me. Would you like to touch my dragon horns? Tears slid down my cheeks and fell into my ears. Cold and chilling, sunlight slanted through the window frame. When the sun rose, I did not vanish, but instead saw all the people I missed, in the mortal world. Extra chapter, on the day Lucas transformed into a dragon, he lost the princess he loved most. Mia, looking at the gloomy and frenzied dragon lord, couldn't help but tell him the truth. Lydia is a transmigrator. At that very moment, Mia saw the male lead's affection value on the panel, which had skyrocketed to the maximum. Mia completed the task. Lucas also awakened as a result. The dragon lord, who rules over the waters of the four realms, tore open a passage between dimensions and arrived in the world where Karina was. At the moment Karina fell into the bathtub, he caught his princess. After Monica and Frank woke up, they immediately called the police and rushed to Karina's apartment with the officers and their own people. Fortunately, they made it in time. Lucas appeared and learned about Karina's situation through Monica and Frank. The three of them discussed how to deal with that scumbag father. Monica held her coffee cup. I'll contact 800 marketing accounts to expose everything he did to Karina and ruin his reputation. Frank held his Lafite glass. I'll hire the best lawyer to put him behind bars, then arrange for my friends inside to take good care of him. Neither of them knew what Lucas could do in this world, so they both turned their gazes toward him. Lucas said coldly, I can make him choke to death on water. Monica and Frank set down their cups, looking at him with newfound respect. Do not easily choke him to death. So, the three of them opened their browsers and spent the whole night searching for punishments that could be carried out using water, both ancient and modern, from all over the world. After hearing the story above, what are your thoughts? Feel free to share your opinions in the comments section. Looking forward to hearing from you. If you liked this story, don't forget to like it, share it, and subscribe to my channel. See you next time.